Morning, everyone. This is Rajendran here, joining from Market Calls, and welcome everyone to Daily Market Commentary. So today is the last trading session of the day. So this is the last live webinar we're going to do in this TradeZilla 2.0 series. So let's have a quick look into Nifty, Bank Nifty profile, and then we'll get back to do a quick top-down analysis to begin with this series. Right, so this month started with a monthly high around 11,020 levels. Right, so far the monthly high also not broken, monthly low also not broken, but monthly high is an even day. Right, so it's a budget day. So budget day here, and so far markets are trading lackluster. So far there is no clear sign. It's a low confidence day so far. So budget day. And so far it is ping pong around this 20 point range, 20-30 point range since the morning. And at least Bank Nifty is showing some move here. Bank Nifty is trading very close to the previous day's low. In fact, it took down by a couple of ticks. So a lot of lows are trading pretty close to each other. The lows in the zones are pretty close by. Some stops would have been still there. And let's have a quick look into the top-down analysis. Right, so this is a hourly time frame of Nifty future. So far, it is kind of a look above the balance and fail, and here is the center point. And price reacted very precisely at the center point there. So it's kind of some short-term buyers comes and plays those zones around the center points. You know that. So this is still a reference, even though mechanically players are initiating a trade here. So maybe it's still a weaker reference from a short-term perspective. And let's do a quick top-down analysis here to check, are we missing something? So price minimalistic. We'll start with quarterly. So quarterly is still balancing, right? So nothing has been changed from here. There is absolutely no change from this quarterly balance. We're still trading in the same range. Neither we had broken on the upside, neither we broken on the downside, right? So there is no clearly long-term money there. That's what we can identify from there. And then we look into the monthly. You can notice that all the highs are pretty close by. So the high here is around the high here is 11,090, and the other highs are at 10,949.8, 11,000.6, 11,000.3, 11,023. So you can see all the levels are pretty close to each other, and still that means monthly is also on a clear balancing mode. But in fact, the monthly is balancing for quite some time in this range. Right, monthly is balancing quite some time in this range. You can also see some sort of a monthly itself developing some sort of an head and shoulder kind of pattern, and that's what monthly is doing. And looking into the weekly. Let me go back to weekly. So weekly, you could find that it's still in a weekly balance. We haven't broken the balance either on the upside or on the downside. Still, the weekly is also balancing for quite some time in this band. So weekly is balancing. So weekly is clearly in a balance. It's a total balancing zone over there, right? And daily. Daily is kind of an short-term uptrend, but then it's still balancing around there. The price was one time framing 1, 2, 3, 4, and then it one time framed for almost 4 days in a row, and still trading within the previous day's range. We also sensing a potential top here, and it is also look above the balance and fail. So the look above the balance and fail here. It's a look above the balance and fail. And so far, the destination target is towards the other side of the trade, 10,650 levels. So far, no elongation yet.
Do we have a rally high?
No, that's not a rally high. That's not a rally high. A rally high should be something like this. Either it should have price falls and then we rally back, or price falls, rally back, and then goes down. It should not be like this is not a rally high. This is not a rally high, right?
Okay.
So this is not a rally high, and this is a rally high, and this is a rally high.
It should start falling from the start itself.
Yeah, it should start falling right from the start itself. Lately, you should see a rally, right? So, but all the odds are there that this, if you look into these odds, so the center point is a zone. It's kind of a balance in mid of the day, mid of the point of control zone. So point of control, you know that who are initiating the trades are most likely weaker reference. Yeah, at times it gives you intraday trading opportunity and very short-term trading opportunities, but eventually they will take it down, right? So many times we looked into that, right? So wherever players react such kind of mechanical reference, so it is a scalping zone. Whenever the price is touching the midpoint and then price stop there, it's a scalping zone, right? So it's a scalping zone, or it is at times even that could be 300, 400 points in terms of Bank Nifty rally, but eventually they comes and get back those levels. That's the kind of thing. So anytime the high confidence could arrive, and moreover, we also talked about this this open interest setup. The open interest setup still says that still 11,000 remains as the highest open interest, means there is no immediate breakthrough above 11,000 levels unless there is a strong news comes in. So maybe the next news announcement is that RBI announcement coming next Thursday. So if at all markets are still moving in a lackluster, and if at all any surprise rate cut is coming from the RBI, maybe that could be a key trigger. If at all they want to break 11,000, until then 11,000 is hard to break. So maybe either we might be going down. If still low confidence prevails, we may remain sideways for another 3-4 days, and then something else could happen. So then there might be change in the game. Right. So I don't see any immediate uptrend from here on. Either we are going down, and we have all the odds of going down because of this information. So of course, Bank Nifty started its high confidence. Maybe Nifty could also join lately. It's still a drive. You can see that it's still a drive so far, even though it was a lot of auctions started balancing, and lately price is pushing it down. Bank Nifty started its move already, clearly, and in fact Bank Nifty had a double distribution day. So a double distribution day and price going down, it is a strong auction. So there is no immediate way to fight out this auction there, right? So a double distribution down day, they want to protect the reference level here. This is a reference level. So it's a strong setup that we are dealing with a high confidence setup. So don't fight this markets on the downside. And the immediate reference level, there are no immediate reference level. Here is the one prominent point of control almost there. But when it comes to Nifty, there are a lot of references one might have. Like they have an poor structure here. So there is a poor structure. So you can see total 5 anomalies, and there is an AB poor low, which has a fair odds of revisiting back. And all we need is some good high confidence sell off so that price could push through the 10,720 levels.
Sir, in case of Bank Nifty, there is a DD balance previous day also.
That's what I talked about it. The previous day there was a double distribution balance.
2 days back.
That doesn't make any sense now. That has been cleared, right? That has been overruled by this double distribution balance.
Okay.
So we don't that reference level would have been gone by now. I mean, you want to say like this is an in this case it is an uptrending balance, right? So this is an up this is an up moving double distribution balance.
Yeah.
Whereas the other case here, this is a double distribution on the downside. This is a double distribution on the downside. Right. So in that case, the double distribution balance got a clear. So the reference here is only this reference stays. The reference here stays. This reference stays. Whereas the other reference here, this double distribution reference goes away. Right. So it's an open drive in Bank Nifty so far. So after a double distribution day, after an even day, there is open drive. So there is all possibilities of this day could convert into an open drive. So unless something changes in the markets, don't try to fight this markets. It's pretty. And of course, when the day started, almost all the global markets are green. That's how we started the day. And here comes the S Bank. So as I said, some S Bank had some stops below 10,090 levels. So when we broke down, it is still in kind of a weekly gap, and then price went down. So think about from the double. So this is where we talked about this double momentum reversal, right? So double momentum reversal top. Every other day is a momentum day. So every day you can see that every day the price stops at letter A and then it keeps going down. Momentum reversal day. It used to happen. These kinds of setups happens once in every 6 months or so, and these are the signs of a strong auction. Don't try to fight the auction. Every other day you are seeing letter A is getting stopped by, and even today so far the letter A is a top. So don't try to fight the auctions. Keep continuing with your auctions. Keep continuing with your trades here, if at all, if you are doing it. And so most of the stops has been taken down in the form of a gap down here. And probably I think if you look into the S Bank would have been out of the balance, a bigger balance probably. Maybe one can do a top-down analysis to check what S Bank is up to. So S Bank, we'll start with similarly we'll start with quarterly. So quarterly, it's clearly in a downtrend, right? Nothing much to. There is no change in the trend. Of course, there was a balance here: 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 to 5 months of balance. That balance got broken down with a sharp down move. Could be a long-term sell-off, and still it's still balancing at the lower edge of this quarter, right? So quarterly, it's clearly down. And if at all the trend has to change, a price has to spend more time over here. And monthly, of course, it is still balancing balancing in this zone. So monthly is still clearly in this balancing zone. And weekly, it is one time framing for last 3 trading sessions. It's going down, kind of going down. And daily, of course, it should be clearly moving down with a strong auction. So a lot of stops here. That stops has been taken down. With that zone, one can use it as a monitor. to check whether the point of control is building below this zone or not. A good confidence price has to stay below that level. More activity has to happen below that level, below 182 or so. You can see more time price is resting there. Price resting here, again resting here, again resting here. And the price used to go up. Earning season comes, there was a spike up. And then lately price started coming down back to this zone. And let's go to Harley. So Harley, we had a balance here, a pretty bigger balance some time back. So this is a balance probably we are talking about some time back. So probably the center point somewhere comes around here. So now completely price started trading down below that. That's fine. And this is the lower end of the balance also. So these are the two levels one have to watch out from a very short term perspective. Okay, so I think so far nothing is going on with Bank Nifty. Nifty is still a low confidence. Bank Nifty so far a high confidence. And for Bank Nifty, we can keep a reference at the day low as well. Nifty haven't yet broken the day low.
Sir, let us assume that one shorts Bank Nifty now,
Okay.
and we'll watch Bank Nifty. If it closes above this reference, then we have to close the position. That invalidates our
If more trading activity happens,
more trading. Okay.
point of control started building above. Let's say, I'll tell you in what case. Let's say again C period cuts down and again comes back. Let's say again goes back, comes down, again goes up, comes back, again goes up. In this case, activity would have been started building above here, and lately you can expect some rallies coming in Bank Nifty. So that kind of setups are happening. Then in that case, one have to think about removing their positions from there.
Okay.
So how about the order flow? Order flow is good so far. But what I had seen is I had seen when the February series, when the rally came, there are a lot of uncleared, a lot of unfinished business was there. Not here, but this is February's contract. I'm not sure. I'm just checking whether this could have the possibility of testing back or not. Yeah, when this rally started, you can see a lot of sequence of play here. It's still not clear. So these zones. This is in February contract, not in January contract, but this is in February contract. Just an observation to keep it. It's a lot of unfinished business over here. So all our emotional buyers in the zone, 830, in this 830, 820 range. And even before that, you can find more unfinished business as well. It's just 2 days back, 2 trading sessions back. Okay, so where else? We're seeing again bunch of another 3 levels sometime back on the same day. I think this is the one again. So 911, right? So this is another one. Another one place. So there was a bunch of session here. Maybe I took a snapshot and then maybe I'll post it in the Slack. I already took a snapshot. Enough 5 minutes, I think that's what I done. Yeah. So series of unfinished auction, 2 trading sessions back in Feb contract, right? So that means before expiry in Feb contract we had that. So one of the reference we're going to monitor. It's been now T+2 now, but just a monitor, right? So nothing much serious about it. Just monitor, just keep monitoring, keep observing, and keep learn from this information. It is not there in February contract. I mean, it's not there in January contract, but it is there in Feb contract. And so that is a sequence of unfinished auction at low side. So 3 and 4 and 5, 6, 7, 8, all are emotional kind of setup, which was not there in Jan contract, which is there in Feb contract, which is one visualization, one how to do it. So this is, and again, I have this tool. I have this new tool. It is working in other machines, but in my machine, somehow it is throttling. So I'm still using the older versions. I'm just trying to get back. Once we get this new tool, we will be having all these set of references. So it's still in a beta stage. So maybe once the issue got solved, we'll be start using this newer version. Newer version is even more interesting. But let's see. That's but so far it is good. I think so far it's a low confidence session so far, but still day high is not taken out. Bank Nifty took a drive. Nifty also kind of took a drive. So one more thing I would like to spot out over here. So if you see this this pore structure comes up with a single prints. I would have been skipped that, but unless it is also coming with a combination of an AB pore low over here. So in that case, this pore structure has the odds of clearing faster. That's because there is AB pore low in an index. What you should not see is we should not see one more prominent point of control day. So otherwise it will become a back-to-back prominent point of control, and then information changes. Maybe we have to step out of the game, because back-to-back prominent point of control, again they might go and test the month high as well, right? So which I don't want to see it. What I want is a linear breakdown on the downside. So when you're watching the markets, multiple things has to be running out. There is a prominent point of control there which is not cleared. So what if there is one more back-to-back prominent point of control? What does that could bring into the markets, right? So will there be any potential short covering rally? Will there be any change in sentiment? Is that an place where inventory is getting long to too long, or inventory getting short to too short? So all those things should be running in your mind, so that you'll be able to pick up scenarios when things are developing. You will be able to think faster and act faster accordingly. So what I don't want to see, like since I'm holding some short position, what I don't want to see is that so markets are doing something, and it's breaking down again, coming back, doing some more activity over here. It's developing like a one more peacock over here. So in that case, a short covering rally could be an in progress, right? So that could be a short covering rally, which I don't want to see this kind of setup, right? So I don't want to see more. Later part of the day, it should be breaking down. If at all not breaking down, it is developing like a prominent point of control. Something is it's not a serious breakdown at all. Something we need to rethink about our existing position. We need to rethink about the way currently we thought about the markets, right? Yep. Let's see how the day develops. But so far it is good. Nothing changed. There is nothing to think on the long side yet. So far the odds are completely focused on the downside. I mean, at least positionally, maybe not from the intraday perspective, but at least from positionally in Bank Nifty, still it is on the short side. First of all, value has to build lower. Along with that, it should not be a prominent point of control day. So that are two things you need to keep in the memory here, right? So far sellers are there, still not, they're not extending down. Okay, at least they're near to the tail zone, so means more trendiness could come. But that's fine. Maybe ABC, they might go slow, and D period, they might start breaking in. That's a good sell-off. In fact, it goes down without any single prints. Otherwise, they'll again come back. Again, price has to do a lot of elongation. So some momentum selling was there. About Bank Nifty. So this high, you think about this letter B. Letter B is a weaker reference. So it just came one tick into this range. So again, odds of coming Bank Nifty could one more time it try to get into this range, and then it should get rejected there. It's a weaker reference. Intraday players initiate trades exactly at the one tick below or exactly from there. So still this is not a good setup. Price have the odds of coming one more time back to clear that. means in Bank Nifty there is no immediate downtrend. Even if immediate downtrend is coming in, the second part of the day they might try to test this 26950 levels. So this is one more thing you one have to watch out. So if you're an intraday player, if you try to initiate intraday charts, you may not get an elongation. If you're getting an elongation, you should be getting out of the game here. Because this very, very rarely it stays like that. It's most likely an previous day. Somebody is selling very close to the previous day's low here. Maybe if at all the price is coming and then coming down, so there one can think about initiating a trade. Or so the trade location should be something different there. This is definitely a weaker reference. Or if you're seeing more weaker reference are developing, then they could come and take this level.
Sir, usually our risk is not defined before entering the trade.
Which
in
one?
case of market profiles. How do you determine the position sizing then?
No. Can you repeat your question again?
So usually the risk is not predefined when we enter a trade looking at market profile.
Mm.
So how would we define the position sizing then?
That's what I said. Like when see it differs based upon what kind of opportunity it is getting. At times, yes, you're going to get a tight risk. Not every time it's going to be the same risk you're going to deal on day-to-day basis.
Yes, sir.
Right. So if you want to enter right now, then probably you have to so try to understand what context is going on. Right. So there was a double distribution day, and there is a kind of a follow through coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So if you are an intraday player, right? So if you are an intraday player, you've seen this, you enter the trade, and then you start entering into the trade. But now you see the weakness. Now you try to book some of your positions and then get out of the game and try to wait for your opportunity, wait for the again price to come back, and then let them reject again. And again, you try to join the game. Right?
Okay.
So without knowing the context, we cannot do a position sizing here, right? So if you know the context, but then staying, if you see as an intraday trader, if you're in scalper, this is a threat to your position here, right? So there is a fair chance that market always comes to this level to clear it.
Mm-hmm.
So in that case, what you do is step away from the game again, wait for your trading again. One more opportunity, definitely market will throw you. So you should be either on the long side or short side. Maybe maybe what could happen here is that let's say without coming down, as I said, there could be more and more intraday players would have been joining for the day. And second half, you might have an opportunity to fade this move, right, as an intraday player. Right. So one thing is that if things are not suitable, when you're seeing such kind of mechanical reference level, stay away from that kind of setup there, which always have the odds of that. It's a weaker reference. Price always have the odds of coming back into the range. I mean, we had seen many times.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the only thing is how to play this game. We are seeing this game repeatedly again and again. The only thing is how you should play this game. You have to think about it, right? So I have a different way of thinking. Maybe you might have a different way of thinking. All you have to do is how I can. So again, you see that price exactly goes over there. Again, it's selling off. It's still a mechanical reference. Only traders come and initiate trade very mechanically like that, which is still a weaker reference. But yes, positionally, still the odds are on the downside. Nothing has been changed. If at all has to change, price has to do a lot of activity there, right? So one will have enough time to get out of this position. That's what I believe. So,
okay.
So still we are positionally, it's still a good trade location to initiate a trade on. Not today. Today it's a follow through, but last Friday was an opportunity zones to initiate somewhere here or here. That's what are good trade locations from a positional trading perspective. But from an intraday trading perspective, this is a risk. See, it's done, right? So now that weaker references has been cleared. That's how the auctions are. The auctions most of the time moves against those weaker hand players. they might be scalpers. They might enter the position, and then when price is going against them, they are the first one to unwind their position. It doesn't matter. So even by a tick or 2 ticks, they might unwind. Okay, which is still good, because as I said, A, B, and C, it will create kind of some sort of an elongation. It comes with a lot of single prints. So if C period and D period are coming down with a slow and steady structure, and then lately momentum is picking up, that's how a good auction is supposed to be. At all in a sudden market falls, and then there is no fun in that. But what I don't want to see is that I don't want to see a prominent point of control building over here, right? So again, another 6 minutes or so, the letter C is going to begin. So letter C, let's say it's started dropping slowly or faster. It doesn't matter. It brings the confidence. That's fine. So far, the letter A is the top. Now you see that there is no threat here, right? So, but one thing is that seriously one have to monitor at this zone. Price is so far doing a lot of ping pong around previous day high, previous day low. Still, that means there is no serious money out there. If you're seeing a lot of ping pong around previous day high, previous day low, still there is no serious participants there. Yes, bank, so it still got back into the range. I think I missed one of the day. Yeah. So here we go. Here we have an immediate resistance zone here. This is the immediate resistance one can think about. So even if there is something like this, we can get some rejections over there with high possibilities.
So what is the screen marker you using?
It's from the Zoom.
It's a Zoom. Okay.
So there is some. So you may not be able to see that. So from order flow perspective, so far for the day, it's good.
Again,
Yeah.
I got a confusion on the single print ones now. Actually, you said no in the bank Nifty.
Yeah, in the bank Nifty.
I'm sorry. In the S Bank, you said no single.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, if the price opens above that single print, can we consider that as support? As of now, we're considering it as resistance, no?
Yeah, it is a resistance.
Yeah.
If the price opens above that, we need to look for an acceptance. So means point of control start building above that. It is not a support.
Okay.
It is not a support, but we need to look for an acceptance. Let's say if the price started opening above here, right? So either you have to see a straight drive or more price has to accept above that. Even a price coming down and accepting above that, this is a good sentiment.
Yes.
Right, for the continuation, for the uptrending continuation. So if that is not happening, it doesn't matter. Most of the time, what happens? Price opens down and it does a lot of activity. It comes up and it rejects and it keeps going down.
Yes.
Most of the time. So if it is happening above, we need this case. If it is happening down below, one should be looking for this kind of setups.
Okay. So in any scenario, can we consider it as support like that? I mean, as of now, we're considering it as resistance, no?
We will consider as a support if it is an let's say this is an up day and price ended over here. In that case, we'll be considering this as support. So when price breaks down, we'll expect the price to come back again.
Yeah. Okay. Same that as of now you said no, like that only.
Yeah, as of now it is on the downside, so it's a resistance. So if it is happening on the reverse side, it will be considering as a support.
Okay. Okay, yeah, I got it.
And this is not a spike, okay? So this might look like a spike, it is not a spike. So it is not an inventory getting short to too short. It's a nice clean distribution. You can see a distribution. Price is not, the point of control is not moved on that day. Point of control not moved on that day, only price moved. But see, it is going down with a very, very good distribution. It's going with this kind of distribution. It's not point of control and then price spike down. Which happened some time back. That is an inventory getting long to too long. So not every point of control migration, non-migration is a inventory getting long to too long or short to too short. Think about this scenario. Point of control is over here. Without distribution, price is going up, right? So this is a clear spike. This is a clear spike, and that is why we say like inventory is getting long to too long. In this case, also prominent point of control non-migrated along with the price. Whereas in this case, also prominent point of control not migrated along with the price. The difference is that it is not a spike. It is it's a good distribution. It's kind of a double distribution. A double distribution is not a it's not an inventory getting long to too long. So most of the time there are double distribution day and point of control looks like it is not migrated, and we will be start calling that day as an inventory getting long to too long. So ideally, it is not inventory getting long to too. I mean, it is not long to too long or long to short to too short. Right? So whenever the prominent point of control is forming, the price should break down very clearly with a late spike. And this is a good setup. I would say that still it's not an inventory getting short to too short. It's slowly breaking down. A spike will be completely different. It spikes and it spikes, right? So that's how the movement is. Whereas you can see that it's a slow and steady drop. Slow and steady drop. This is
Not like
this is a good selling, right? So a spike will be like you can see the force down there. So market will be doing like this, all of a sudden spikes and spikes. So that's you can see the tempo. You can feel from the tempo. From the center of the point of control, it breaks down and it breaks down. So this is initially it took an slow breaks and then it gears up faster. This is not a inventory getting long to too long. Definitely momentum sellers are there, but they are still supposed to be strong. And in fact, S Bank would have been broken multi-week low, if I'm not wrong. So definitely the weekly reference is going to be the key there. Right? So how many week low they had broken? Almost 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 week low has been broken. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 week low has been broken. So that reference is going to be this. That's reference be the game there. So 5 week low or a multi-day breakout, right? So it's a multi-day breakout. And so this is your reference for the day to monitor. If something you want to do is 840 is the reference. So as the time goes by, if you're seeing more and more activity started building above 180.55, maybe it's time to hedge your position. Probably one can think about writing some puts for time being, as long as price is coming down below 180, right? So if at all price started coming down below 180, one can consider removing the hedge again. So maybe if there is any serious reversal supposed to happen from here, then you could be saving some of your money, and then you can be able to exit out some decent profit also. So this level has to be seriously monitored because it's a multi-week breakout, multi-day breakout. This is a critical reference line here, right? So means somewhere you need to do an adjustment if at all you want to hold a positional shorts here. And still it is not clear. So price could, it's still very early stages of the point of control. But yes, we got a rejection there at 180 point something. And maybe it's time to be cautious as well to write, if at all someone want to write some some put options over here. If you're, I mean, I'm not asking you to write a naked put options. If you're holding a short, yes, you can consider writing an P, kind of an covered put. Still, they got back into the range. Enough is not doing anything. So ABC auction here. So what I don't want to see is that I don't want to see an point of control building over here. How about the P's? So always this setup here is somewhere around 3.5 and 1.5. That means take a calculator. So this is somewhere around 1.57 and 3.52. 1.57 divided by 3.52, which is 0.44, which is good. Still, they are holding up on the upper side, so still that can be a potential top. And so nothing much to worry yet, unless this information changes. This information is building good. Maybe the change in open interest, a lot of P's would have been added at that levels. A lot of P's have been added at 11,000 P. So
3.2 is what, sir? What you have divided?
It's I'm just done a put call ratio. So I taken the open interest and of P divided by open interest of C. That's what I done at the 11,000 call series. So if it stays down, as long as it's going to stay down below 0.45, or currently it is 0.44, so it's going to go down to 0.4. It's going to be a very potential resistance for this series also. Right? So again, that's going to be a positional favor for the day. I mean, for in a very very short term, very short term, at least for this week, 11,000 breaking down could be very tough. If at all, this information is going to be getting to 0.4 or 0.3 or 0.2. So when the PCR is getting decreased, more call writing activity is supposed to happen. Right. So I'm expecting a more call writing coming in this series because we talked about this. The FIs are holding a record number of, ultra low call writing for the last couple of so this is the FI's index options. You can see they're holding a record low number of call writing there. So they have an all room. If at all if you have started seeing that this data point is ramping up, they started ramping up this data point, right? So this data point, if you see they are started ramping up this calls, then that could be signs of an good downtrending markets. So one should not fight that. So it's an ABC balancing. Now, if they are coming down, it's a good setup. That it could be a very good sign of a high confidence markets. Only one thing I don't want to see price balancing more time around 10,869, more than 9 TPOs for the day. I mean, not more than 8 TPOs for the day. In that case, one have to step away from the game and have to monitor for re-entry again.
Sir, sorry, sir. Please come again. What you said? 9 TPOs where?
Around today's point of control. Today it's ABC balancing, right? So somewhere point of control looks like it is building over here. May not be. Point of control may migrate also. But what I don't want to see here is that I don't want to see a point of control building again here in this band. More than 8 TPO means there is a lot of odds that it could be a permanent point of control. 9 or 10, which comes very close to the priming point of control, which brings a possible short covering rally also. So in that case, I will step away from my shorts. Else, I will try to continue with my shorts positionally. I'm talking about positional shorts.
Okay, sir.
Right? Yeah. And there is a double mechanical reference here. So some stops are there on the downside. So lately, if the price is coming down and again breaking, this time they may not go up, maybe. But despite that, price is again coming back, building point of control. It's a stay away game from the shorts. And think again from a different angle. Again, step away, look for a re-entry, or step away and re-look, do and one more top-down analysis, try to think what went wrong, and probably we need to take a different opinion about the markets.
So the logic behind another PPOC is that there are no strong hands, so market would move against them.
Most likely they are short-term sellers like us, but they are more and more short-term sellers. So in that case, that's why the back-to-back priming point of control forms. It is one of the sign that inventory is getting short to too short. That could be a short covering rally. Right? If it is, as of now, there is no such information. But if over a period of time you're seeing more and more data is developing around 10,860 levels, right? So that is a sign that more and more short-term players are coming and shorting these markets, right? So which is not a good sign though, which I don't want to see. When I'm seeing an price going down, so far it has all the odds of going down, right? So it has to go down slowly, steadily. It has to go down. Maybe the speed could pick up in the second half. That is a good markets. That is a good auction.
Okay.
It slowly, steadily picks up during the second half. Maybe in morning there is no elongation, which I anticipated. There is no elongation. Second half there is no elongation. Again, it forms a prominent point of control. Has to step away from the game. Maybe they might reattempt AB power low, maybe some other time. So again, after doing the stop hunting on the upper side, they might try to do some patterns above. Again, they might reject some other places. Again, they might come down to clear the AB power low. So immediately you have to step away if it's a back-to-back prominent point of control, or if the odds of prominent point of control increases, again one have to step away from there. So with Bank Nifty is still holding the day high. Both Nifty and Bank Nifty are holding the day high. It's initially straight drive. There are no single prints. So point of control, so far it is around exactly at the previous day's low. It spotted a weaker reference here. Price got back into the range. They cleared it. How about Yes Bank? Yes Bank 180 is the level we are monitoring because it's a multi-day breakout. And the reference level here, it is still a weaker reference. This reference, I still consider this as a weaker reference here. Right? So 10,835. But that's a short-term reference, not necessarily has to clear. It may clear or it may not clear. But it is a short-term reference. It's a weaker reference. Some other day you can expect price to come and revisit those zones. Right? Nothing much.
Sir,
Yeah.
So this R delta is freeware, sir, or do we need to buy?
It's an add-on.
Add-on for what, sir?
It's an add-on for order flow.
No. That's fine, sir. So that way I can download from the freeware, right? Market cost, this R delta.
R delta is not a free tool.
Okay, fine. Sir.
Yeah. Again, Z today also they had a con call, I believe. So continuously they are in the talks in the media. So trading is not going to be a difficult. Trading is definitely going to be a difficult one here. It's not an easy game. ICICI Bank still. This is a place where the ADR news comes up. ADR was up by 9%, right? So here is where the ADR comes up 9%, and then we got a spike and top made in ADR. So ADR spike. ADR spiked up 9%. And next day we opened, we rallied, and then we stopped at 376. So far it is a down move. So I'm not saying that you should trade against these news. You should not, when you know this news, you should not go in the direction of the news. That's what my thing is. Going in the direction of the news, you're going to have to be really lucky to trade in the direction of the news.
Sir,
Yeah.
in a bell market profile, how to make a loop in 1 day daily market profile?
Okay, I'll show you that. So first of all, I have to get loop in here. So you're talking about monthly, right? So
Yes, sir. For long term.
So in that case, I have to disconnect my e-signal because e-signal doesn't comes with continuous contract.
Okay, sir.
So they provide continuous contract only inside e-signal. So I have to disconnect here. I'm going to connect to global data feeds. So I'll close everything. I'll connect to GDFL.
Sir, this R delta I'm not finding in the library, sir. What is the name you have given?
No, you have to purchase from Bell TPO. It is not from market profile. I mean, it's not from market calls. It's from, you have to go to belltpo.com and you have to get it from there.
Okay, if I get order flow, I will get the R delta free.
No, you just check with them. There is a pricing involved with that.
Okay.
Yeah. So we want what? Loop in. You said loop in, right? So loop in, select this and continue. Make sure that it's a continuous contract. So whereas this is a loop in future, this is a contract level data, right? So continue. And first to get the daily chart. So go to charts and loop in. Make sure it is daily and make sure you're trying to load last 10 years of data. Why it is not loading? Or it is loading? No. maybe I'll try with some other scripts like Bank Nifty. I'll show you with Bank Nifty. Right. So right click indicators. I'll go and apply the template. Load. I'll say this one. Load it.
So what is the template, sir?
Okay. Anyways, I'll try to show you. What I'll do is I'll try to show you apply right from the scratch better. I think I applied a wrong template. New chart. Nifty.
So NSE we have to.
NSE?
No.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Oh, okay.
All right. So okay, and right click, go to indicators. Let's say I'll take only Bell Market Profile Pro, which doesn't come with any reference lines, which we don't
Okay.
need it on a daily time frame because we
Okay.
don't need to plot an AB power low, AB power handout. So just take instead of ultimate, take only Bell Market Profile Pro.
Okay, sir.
And set the TPO size as maybe since it is a bigger number. So since it's a bigger days, so make it as an 5-point TPO. Because we are dealing with a higher time frame, we're not worried about the precise levels, right? So we want the balance here. And the other things what we want is that so volume profile, we don't need it. Show volumes and numbers, we don't need it. Instead of day, you have to select yearly profile.
Okay.
And so in every 1 year you will get one profile, right? So that's what it means. And what else? Everything remains the same. We don't want any volume on the left hand side. Data collection type should be day, right? So because you are plotting on the daily profile, so you don't not select minute. If you select minute, you may get some skewed profile. You have to select day.
Okay.
Because every day it plots an letter here. Every other day it plots a letter.
Okay.
And what else? Oh, this is fine. And volume color, I prefer using some slate gray. Apply. Right, so there you go. This is for Bank Nifty. And maybe to make this background, I definitely don't like it. And Ninja Trader, they themselves, they don't allow this active slate gray. It's a Ninja Trader color, so by default, you can't code it to take this. So that's why you can you have to go and select this as a charting background.
Okay.
By default, they are not able to provide this color. So that's how you'll be able to make it. So if you are seeing in looping, you'll be seeing in kind of an balance, and then lately price would have been elongating on the upside.
Okay, sir.
So this is Bank Nifty. Every year you get a profile like this, and you'll be able to get the prominent point of control. So far value area is building higher and higher and higher. Now so far it's low confidence trading session. Now price touched exactly at the priming point of control, last year's priming point of control, right?
Okay.
So very close to that, came pretty close to that last year's priming point of control and came back in. And so far, if you split, this is what the activity so far for this year so far. I mean, nothing much to infer from this
Bank
profile,
Nifty.
but Lupin has some meaningful information there.
Sir, one more thing, sir. In Ninja Trader, for Nifty, we have for 3 months there is no excess, sir. For when I start the chart,
In Ninja Trader,
for long term
no, I'm not
top
getting.
down analysis. Top down analysis for 3 months quarterly.
Last time we talked about it, no? I
No,
think
no.
2 days.
If I put the chart, I cannot see the excess, sir, in Ninja Trader. In Ami Broker, we are seeing excess.
Futures.
Yes.
Some issue with my Nifty futures with global data feeds. I think I have to reinstall my global data feed. I mean Ninja Trader. Some issues there. So let me try out here. So you're saying like on the what time frame? Quarterly time frame.
Quarterly, sir.
Okay. So
We have to go configure. Yes, there.
maybe how they are calculating in 3 months, we don't know how. It's, I think this is only this quarter only. It's a fresh quarter. Maybe this quarter they would have been taken from, they go to monthly time frame charts, monthly twice, right? Monthly. This is 1 quarter and probably this is 1 quarter. So they are using the last 3 months to plot the charts. So this 3 months they're considering as one candle, and this 3 months they're considering as a one candle. So they're not taking the actual quarterly chart here.
Okay.
So from the current candle, they are building the last 3 months. So last 3 months, like that, they are building the charts. So they don't have a quarterly charts here. So, but they are always taking this 3 as a one candle, right? So this one candle and this 3 as one candle. So that is why you're not seeing an excess, and this 3 as in one candle.
Okay.
So probably this is not a quarterly chart, but just a 3 month chart. 3 month chart is getting built only from current month.
Okay.
So that's the reason. So in that case, you can consider using. I don't know. In that case, let me check if there is Ninja Trader quarterly chart. You need to check in the Ninja Trader forums, or one have to query it in the Ninja Trader forums only. They are suggesting something. Let me check if that is a possibility. I'll go to 3 month chart. Right click, go to data series. They say like they're talking about load data. Let me check if I'm able to get anything out of it. As of now, I'm not able to see.
Probably if end date is revised to December, probably then you can get quarterly.
There is a lot of background noise getting generated. So let me try this end date as 30 first. Let's see if this works out or not. I don't think so.
December 18th, sir, not 20th.
Or maybe we can say like custom range. That's what they said, I think. End date here. End date. Probably I'll say start date as like let's say December, so January. Okay, so maybe let's see if it's able to reconstruct based on this.
I think end date is December 18th. You make it.
I think it's getting changed. This one is getting changed. Okay, maybe what if I say like January or one day back? Will that candle reconstruct itself? No, it's not at all doing that. End date is always showing as a recent date only. Yeah, I think now in this case, if I selected a different end date, it shows like an excess here.
Okay, sir.
So maybe you should select the custom range and the start date. So you select this January. So from there, from January month onwards, maybe it is not calculating backwards, it is calculating from the front. So
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
maybe if I change this to second month onwards, it will try to calculate it. Your candle varies. If I select to third month, your candle varies. So if your start month is always January, right? So
Okay,
it calculates from there, from the forwards. It's not calculating from the backwards.
Okay, sir.
Calculating from the forward like this. Right? So a custom range and make it as an 1st of January of any
Any year.
any year, yeah, any year
Okay.
which your chart is having the data.
Okay, sir.
In
Okay,
that
sir.
case, you will get a clear excess. So
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
you get an excess there.
Yes. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. So let's have one final lookup. Let me close this charts here for time being. To all, not to all. I think so far it's an ABC elongation. So this is one scary chart, which I don't want to speculate on this, right? So, but yes, I just leave it aside. As of now, we don't talk about it. Okay. This we generally used to speculate on a quick flip. Okay. So every time the momentum bars, many times you're seeing that price is staying down below this momentum bars and it's staying more and more gray, it usually mean towards the 200-day moving average, which is somewhere around, currently it is coming around 9,500. So I'm not saying that 9,500 will come, but first let they break today's low, right? So that is where still they are struggling. So yeah, this has an bigger odds, but this may take, even if they're gonna start right now, anywhere around by 2 months, it might take to come to that level. So far, they had done a lot of sideways action, and still, so the top of this range comes around 11,265. So still they have an, when you are thinking in a broader manner, they still have an, if at all the context has to change, 11,265 has to broke on the upper side. Until then, the focus is still on the downside, right? So usually it tend to mean revert towards 200 moving average. This we practice on a 5-minute time frame. This we practice on a hourly time frame. But I don't want to speculate on a weekly time frame. Weekly time frame, if you take the same approach on the weekly time frame, that is what happens over there. I'm not saying that, but yeah, that's speculation. That is a bias, right? That's a bias because we've seen the same thing on a 5-minute time frame. We've seen the same thing on a hourly time frame. A weekly time frame, we don't know it happens or not. But yes, it's the same art, same kind of thinking, but it is a bias. It's, at the end of the day, it's just a bias. You cannot you cannot take that as a trading strategy, right? But yes, just want to show it. So here we go. Still they are balancing around the same zone on a lower time frame. Nothing much serious going on there. There is no follow through yet. I mean, there is no meaningful follow through yet. Neither side. There is no on the upside. There is nothing happen on the downside. Just an ABCD balancing. It's ABCD balancing by now, probably. So connections, I'll disconnect this and connect to V signal. Almost 4 TPO activity happened, right? So nothing wrong. Still lately market could go down. But if at all it's going to be a prominent point of control, that is what it makes things complex. That's what it makes markets even more challenging. What I don't want to see is a prominent point of control day. Else we need to rethink again about the market situation. Yeah. Otherwise, everything holds towards the downside odds, a positional downside odds. Not much of activity around so far, just moving in a very tight range. A lot of activity around volume weighted average price. A lot of whips are around that. Bank Nifty, again, nothing much going on there. Point of control exactly started building around previous day's low. Still, both the Nifty and Bank Nifty case, still the day high is protected so far. So there is no trading strategy yet. There is no intraday trading strategy yet. That's what we can think about as of now. Maybe second half market might give some clues. Or how about the day low in Bank Nifty? Day low from the day low is kind of, day low is nothing much. About day high also nothing much. So it's just they are balancing for time being. Which I really don't want to see it till end of the day. That could eventually get into a prominent point of control. Right, let's see how the day goes, and nothing much to do for me for the day yet. So I'm just closing the session here, but still we'll be monitoring for the downside continuation. Still downside continuation odds are there in case of Bank Nifty. I mean, in case of Nifty, the odds are poor structure plus an AB poor high, I mean AB poor low. So these are the odds we talked about it. It's a poor structure on 31st Jan, and on the same day we got a AB poor low as well. That's the odd why we are thinking about immediately the market could go down from a positional point of view. One can expect this to happen, but so far there is no elongation. What we don't want to see is that we don't want to see a Brahmin point of structure here that will eventually become a back-to-back Brahmin point of control, right? So even if this is going to happen like this, let's say there is one more scenario we can think about here. Price going and clearing this Brahmin point of control and shifting down. This is also fine. This will become a back-to-back Brahmin point of control. That will become a G2 high, and that is also fine, right? G2 high at a major swing high. One more time we will get a G2 high at a major swing high, which is also fine to me. But the only thing which I'm not comfortable is one more Brahmin point of control day, right? Yeah. So with this, I'm just closing the session for the day. I'm still continuing my shorts. I'm willing to continue. I'm willing to ride this shorts for at least for 2 weeks, as long as things are favorable in my side. I'm okay to cut my shorts whenever things are not favoring, things are going against me. I'm willing to cut it down. Right? So that's how I'm planning for this. In the intermediate, I'm not going to have any kind of trades there. So this is the only trade which I'm going to have for next 2 weeks, as long as things are going to continue in my favor. Right? Yeah. Thank you. So my whole focus will be only on Nifty and Bank Nifty for a positional trend. If at all any intraday setups comes, we'll definitely play it, but we will play only on the odds. If there are odds comes, if there are multiple odds comes, then only we'll try to step in. Otherwise, nothing much to do in this kind of markets. Right? Thank you, everyone, and I hope you will be start practicing whatever we learned in the last 30 days of session. If there are feedbacks, do send me back an email, or in the Slack there is a section there. If there are any ways to improve, just if you feel that there are certain topics which you feel difficult, we may try to take those sessions in a community webinar. Again, we might be having a series of community webinars every twice a month or every once a month. We might have such kind of community webinar, or any interesting things are happening, we'll try to have a webinar. Any new concepts are coming, we might have a community sessions there. Mostly a new topics will be, yeah.
Yeah. And what I meant to say, even tomorrow we have a webinar also, no, sir?
Is it?
No, this is the last day.
I believe this is the last day.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is that, sir, like I was a new, but like as the season is going to end, now I'm starting going from today, like just 1 week onwards, I'm just starting learning. So
no, anyways, we'll be continuing Slack day in, day out. We'll be continuing talking in Slack. You can ask questions anytime. Lifetime we'll be connected with the Slack. Right? Anytime.
Definitely, it's good, sir.
Most of the people most of their learnings come from the Slack. So don't miss it. Don't fail to ask questions there. Post your charts, ask questions. Post your analysis and say, okay, like, is my analysis approach is right or wrong? Nobody is going to take it wrong, or nobody is going to fight with you. Right? If somebody is fighting with you, so I'll come back and I'll moderate the thread. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, everyone. We'll catch up in the Slack.
Thanks for it.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.